Welcome. Today we have Chad Knutson with us to discuss technology management for banks. Chad is president of SBS CyberSecurity with almost 20 years experience in banking technology and security. He is a faculty member at the Bank Technology Management School and the program coordinator at the Bank Technology Security School with the Graduate School of Banking at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Chad, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, Larry. Really excited to talk about technology and security. This is definitely near and dear to our hearts and very passionate about it. So thank you.
Great. Well, as you know, Chad, there are many topics we could discuss. For today, let's just focus on technology management. When we typically think about banks, we often visualize the branch bank itself. But as you know, the technology used by banks represents mission-critical systems that support the day-to-day operation as well as the customer experience. Chad, what do you see as the key technology management responsibilities for banks?
Great question, Larry. And you kind of touched on a philosophy I want to highlight up front, is really encouraging institutions to shift their mindset of how they view their institution. It has been that brick and mortar view in the past, and technology was this department over in the corner that a handful of people would take care of. But to your point, it's important to all of our critical components in the bank. And if you sat down and wrote down everything that would still work if I took technology away, you'd have a very short list anymore. So I encourage them to think of your business as a technology business, very much like Uber would think of themselves as a technology company instead of a taxi cab service. So that mind shift, we think differently about how we treat technology. We're more intentional instead of reactive with new ideas. So building a good process then gets into the details around that. And we ask for fundamentals like, how does this fit in with your strategic project that the bank is undertaking? How does your IT strategic plan integrate with this? What does your risk assessment need to look like? What kind of compliance requirements will you have, or new auditing expectations? How do you budget for this to ensure that this technology from birth to the end is taken care of by your institution? So we want to make sure all of these things with project management and other things are integrated into a good, sound process.
Great. Thank you. I really liked your Uber technology versus taxi viewpoint. I think that really helps understand the point here about the value and the importance of technology. So over the past few years, bank technology offerings have expanded greatly. So what are some of the different and key challenges to managing these newer technologies?
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of facets to technology. IT operations people would have a much different answer for you, but we live on the cybersecurity side of the world at SBS. So we see the day-to-day struggles that institutions get involved with technology. And to that reactive idea where maybe an executive came back from an event and said, we'd like to do ITMs tomorrow. Risks come along with that when we don't have a chance to really process that in a structured way. And so cybersecurity is a really big impact to technology. And we want to make sure institutions are successful with technology. We want them to grow. We want them to be strategic and competitive, but we got to do it safely. So when you do a new online account opening platform, you don't get surprised by an attack against your platform with credential stuffing. Maybe you want to do a cost savings initiative and move your data center to a managed services provider, but didn't anticipate getting hit with ransomware. Or heaven forbid, you finish that big merger acquisition project and you're all excited only days later to find out that they were a victim of a data breach, and now you paid a full price for that situation. So if we have a good process to handle technology from the original idea till the end, we can avoid a lot of these pitfalls and think through controls and countermeasures.
Right. All good points. Well, given the complexities that you're talking about and the challenges of all these variant systems and the ability to bring in different technology vendors to help, are there educational or certificate programs for people in bank technology positions to gain and to learn more?
Absolutely. There's a variety of things available. We're really living with a large workforce shortage in technology. Cybersecurity, in my opinion, is probably the largest in our country from a job shortage perspective. So anyone who's interested in getting into technology and security, I would highly encourage that. There's some great national programs with SANS Institute, ISACA, ISC Squared. They're industry agnostic and great, well known, but there's so many unique aspects to financial institutions with regulations, examiners coming in every 12 months. And so I would encourage folks to look for something that is tailored to that. It'll be quicker for you to apply your knowledge and get to work making a difference. And GFP has some really good programs that you mentioned earlier in the introduction around this. The Bank Technology Management School is just one of those, Larry, that I think people should take a look at. It covers a lot of those fundamentals we highlighted that you need to know to handle technology effectively. And it's great for chief technology officers, information officer, or even the information security officer. If you have a role that helps you make decisions with technology, it's a great fit. We used to do it as before the pandemic as a week-long course. So you really got immersed in it, got to meet a lot of peers and work through problems together. And since then, we've had some great success virtually. Every time the course is offered, Larry, we fill it up. So it's super exciting to be part of such a successful program over there at GSB. And they've got others that fit different needs on the technology security side of the world. So I would encourage people to take a look at that. SBS has created 10 different certification programs. Some of them take a real deep dive, like vendor management is an important part of this process we're talking about. And so you can become immersed in that and figure out, how do I handle this head to toe and do a great job for our financial institutions. So they're online 10-week courses, learn at your own pace, lectures with some labs that you do along the way to really dig in. So those would be two places I'd encourage people to take a look. GSB helps us promote these certification programs, and we've done a wonderful job across the US training bankers in.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Chad. Thanks for taking the time today to discuss the key responsibilities and challenges of technology management for banks.
Absolutely. I hope this helps people make more informed decisions moving forward, Larry.
Great, great. And that's what we're all about, is helping people learn and be educated so they can start to make better decisions. So in closing, thank you for joining us today. If you have additional questions for Chad, please see the links in his bio.